Have you ever noticed that the number people believe they need to retire keeps getting bigger every year? $1 million, 2 million, maybe even 3 million. It's almost as if the finish line moves farther away every time you get closer. But what if that entire idea is built on the wrong question? What if financial freedom isn't about becoming unbelievably rich? What if it's about reaching the point where your money quietly works while you spend your time however you choose? Now imagine waking up tomorrow with $500,000 sitting in investments. No alarm clock, no commute, no boss waiting for you. Could you actually live the rest of your life without working another day? Most people would answer that question with a quick no. They'd picture luxury homes, expensive vacations, brand new cars, and restaurant meals every night. They assume $500,000 would disappear almost overnight. But what if they were thinking about spending the money instead of living from what the money produces? That tiny difference changes everything. Because the real question isn't how long $500,000 lasts if you keep taking pieces away. The real question is whether $500,000 can become a machine that keeps creating income year after year. And once you understand that difference, retirement starts looking very different. My name is Theo, and I spend far too much time thinking about why so many hardworking people believe financial freedom is impossible, even when they're much closer than they realize. If you enjoy simple explanations about investing, wealth, and building a life with more freedom, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe. If this video helps you see money differently, it'll be one of the best investments you'll make today. Let's begin with one simple truth. Most people dramatically overestimate how much money they need to retire. That doesn't mean retirement is cheap. It doesn't mean everyone can stop working with $500,000. It simply means people often confuse wealth with financial freedom. Those two ideas sound similar. They're not. Wealth is having a large amount of money. Financial freedom is having enough income from your investments to pay for your lifestyle. Think about two neighbors. The first owns $1 million house, drives a luxury SUV, wears expensive watches, and earns $300,000 a year. The second lives in a modest home, drives a reliable used car, owns broad market index funds, dividend funds, bonds, and keeps monthly expenses surprisingly low. The first person looks rich. The second person might actually be free. If the first neighbor loses the job tomorrow, the expensive lifestyle could become a serious problem within months. If the second neighbor's investments continue producing steady income, life changes very little. That's the hidden difference. Freedom isn't something you can always see, it's often invisible. This brings us to the biggest mistake people make when thinking about $500,000. They imagine opening a savings account and slowly spending it until nothing remains. That approach almost guarantees failure. Instead, imagine your investments as a fruit tree. If you cut down the tree for firewood, you'll only benefit once. But if you protect the tree and simply collect the fruit every season, it can provide value for decades. Your investment portfolio works the same way. The goal isn't to destroy the principal. The goal is to let the principal keep producing income. So what kind of investments could potentially make that possible? No investment is completely risk-free. But some are generally considered more stable than others. Government and high-quality corporate bonds have historically provided predictable income, although returns change as interest rates move. High-yield savings accounts can offer attractive interest during certain periods while keeping your money easily accessible. Dividend-focused funds invest in companies that regularly share profits with shareholders. Broad, diversified index funds spread your investments across hundreds or even thousands of companies, instead of betting everything on one business. Each option serves a different purpose. Together, they can create a portfolio that balances growth, income, and stability. Now let's put some simple numbers on the table. Suppose your $500,000 portfolio earns an average annual return of 5%. 5% of $500,000 is $25,000 per year. Divide that by 12 months. That's roughly $2,083 each month. Now imagine a 7% average annual return. That's $35,000 each year, or about $2,917 every month. Push the average return to 8%. Now you're looking at $40,000 per year. That's approximately $3,333 every month. Suddenly the conversation changes. Those numbers may not support a luxury lifestyle in Manhattan or San Francisco. But they could absolutely support a comfortable life in many parts of America, especially if someone owns a home, shares expenses with a spouse, or chooses a lower-cost community. And here's something many people overlook. You don't necessarily need to spend every dollar your investments generate. Some years, the market performs better. Some years, it performs worse. Leaving part of your returns invested allows your portfolio to continue growing over time. That growth becomes especially important because of one unavoidable reality: inflation. Inflation quietly raises the cost of almost everything: groceries, healthcare, insurance, housing, even your morning cup of coffee. If prices rise by 3% every year, your money gradually buys less. That's why simply storing cash under a mattress almost guarantees losing purchasing power over time. Growth investments help fight back. Historically, diversified stock investments have outpaced inflation over long periods, although short-term market swings are completely normal. That's an important point. Markets don't move upward in a straight line. They never have. And they probably never will. Some years your portfolio could fall 20%. Occasionally even more. That's not pleasant, but it's also not unusual. The people who eventually achieve financial freedom aren't the ones who panic during every market decline. They're the ones who prepare for those declines before they happen. That preparation begins with diversification. Instead of relying on one company, one stock, or one investment idea, diversified investors spread risk across many different assets. If one part struggles, another part may continue performing well. No strategy eliminates risk. But diversification reduces the chance that one bad decision destroys everything. This is also where something called the safe withdrawal rate becomes useful. The name sounds complicated. The idea isn't. Imagine you own a fruit orchard. Instead of picking every apple each season, you only harvest the amount that allows the trees to remain healthy and continue producing year after year. A safe withdrawal rate works the same way. Rather than spending as much as possible from your investments, you withdraw a relatively small percentage each year, giving the portfolio a better chance to keep supporting you for decades. Many financial planners often discuss a withdrawal rate around 4% as a starting guideline based on historical market data, although the right number depends on your age, spending, taxes, investment mix, and future market conditions. The exact percentage matters less than the principle. Protect the engine. Live from what it produces, not from tearing it apart. And once you understand that idea, something surprising begins to happen. You stop asking, how much money do I need? You start asking a far more powerful question. How much life do I actually want to buy? That question changes everything. Because the easiest way to become financially free isn't always by earning another $10,000. Sometimes it's by realizing you don't need to spend it in the first place. This is where lifestyle inflation quietly enters the picture. Most people have experienced it without even noticing. You receive a raise. A few months later, you upgrade your car. Your apartment suddenly feels too small. The phone you've owned for 2 years now seems outdated. Weekend dinners become normal instead of occasional. Streaming subscriptions multiply. Vacations become more expensive. None of these decisions seem dramatic on their own. But together, they slowly raise the cost of your life. Then another raise arrives, and somehow it still doesn't feel like enough. It's like trying to fill a bucket with a hole in the bottom. No matter how much income pours in, it keeps leaking back out. That's why some people earning $50,000 eventually become financially independent, while others making $300,000 still feel trapped by monthly bills. Income matters, but spending habits matter just as much. Imagine two friends who each receive an extra $1,000 every month. The first spends all of it. The second invests all of it into a diversified portfolio. At first, their lives look almost identical. 5 years later, the difference becomes noticeable. 10 years later, it's dramatic. 20 years later, they may be living completely different lives. One is still working because every paycheck is already spoken for. The other has built an income-producing asset that never existed before. This is the quiet power of consistency. It rarely feels exciting in the beginning. There are no flashing lights, no overnight success stories, no viral headlines, just steady progress, month after month, year after year. That's exactly why so many people ignore it. Human psychology isn't naturally designed for long-term investing. Our brains love immediate rewards. Buying something new feels good today. Investing for retirement feels like sacrificing today for a future version of yourself you haven't even met. Retail stores understand this. Advertisers understand this. Credit card companies definitely understand this. They know emotions often win over logic. That's why advertisements rarely sell products. They sell identities. A luxury watch isn't presented as a watch. It's presented as success. A sports car isn't sold as transportation. It's sold as freedom. A larger home isn't simply more space. It's presented as proof that you've made it. But here's the uncomfortable truth. Many of the people who appear wealthy are financing that appearance. Monthly payments can create the illusion of prosperity. Investment accounts create actual financial strength. Those are very different things. Real wealth is often surprisingly boring. It's the couple living in the same neighborhood for 20 years. It's the teacher contributing to retirement accounts every paycheck. It's the engineer driving a 10-year-old sedan that runs perfectly. It's the small business owner who quietly buys index funds every month instead of chasing the latest investment trend. You probably wouldn't notice these people in a crowded restaurant. They don't need anyone else to notice them. Their confidence doesn't come from showing what they own. It comes from knowing they own their future. That kind of confidence can't be purchased. It has to be built. And building it takes time. This is where compound growth performs what almost looks like magic. Imagine investing $500 every month. That number doesn't sound life-changing. Many people spend that much on coffee, takeout, online shopping, and subscriptions without realizing it. But invested consistently over several decades, those monthly contributions can grow into hundreds of thousands of dollars. Not because each contribution is enormous. Because each dollar begins earning returns. Then those returns begin earning returns of their own, year after year, decade after decade. Albert Einstein is often credited with calling compound interest the eighth wonder of the world, although historians debate whether he actually said it. Whether he did or not, the idea remains remarkable. Time becomes your greatest financial partner. Every year you stay invested gives your money another opportunity to grow. That's why starting early matters so much. A person investing modest amounts in their 20s often ends up with more wealth than someone investing much larger amounts beginning in their 40s. Not because they were smarter, because they gave compound growth more time to work. Time is the one investment advantage that money alone cannot replace. And eventually, something unexpected begins to happen. Money becomes less about buying things. It becomes about buying choices. The choice to leave a stressful job. The choice to spend more afternoons with your children. The choice to care for aging parents. The choice to travel without asking permission. The choice to start a small business you've always dreamed about. The choice to volunteer. The choice to simply slow down. That's what financial freedom really is. More options. Not more possessions. Ironically, the people who understand this often end up wealthier anyway. Because they stop competing with everyone around them. They stop trying to impress strangers. They stop measuring success by what fits inside a garage. Instead, they measure success by something much harder to see. Peace of mind. Imagine waking up every morning knowing your bills are covered. Knowing one unexpected expense won't destroy years of progress. Knowing your investments continue working whether you're sleeping, hiking, reading, or enjoying breakfast with your family. That feeling has enormous value. It doesn't eliminate every problem. Life will always have uncertainty. Markets will decline. Inflation will continue. Unexpected expenses will appear. But a well-diversified portfolio, steady investing habits, reasonable spending, and patience create resilience. You don't have to predict the future perfectly. You simply have to prepare for it. So can someone really live off $500,000 and do nothing else? The honest answer is, it depends. It depends on where you live, how much you spend, how your portfolio is invested, how flexible you are, how much risk you're willing to accept, and whether you're willing to let your money work instead of expecting it to perform miracles overnight. For some people, $500,000 won't be enough. For others, it could represent complete financial independence. The difference isn't always found in the size of the portfolio. It's often found in the size of the lifestyle that portfolio is expected to support. Perhaps the greatest lesson isn't about reaching exactly $500,000. It's understanding that every investment you make today purchases a little more freedom tomorrow. Every unnecessary expense you avoid gives your future self another opportunity. Every dollar invested is a tiny employee that goes to work on your behalf. The more of those employees you have, the less you may need to work yourself. In the end, wealth isn't about collecting the most money before you die. It's about creating enough financial security to spend your time on what truly matters. Because time is the only asset you can never earn back. Money can grow, careers can change, investments can recover, but yesterday is gone forever. So don't build your financial life around impressing people who aren't paying your bills. Build it around creating a future where your time belongs to you. That may be the greatest return any investment will ever provide. Thank you for watching. I wish you success.